Note-taking strategy. There are many different ways to take notes, but the one that I like the best is called two-column notes. At least that's what I call it. Now, why do we take notes? Well, first of all, they help enhance our comprehension of nonfiction text. Well, how do they do this? Well, you have to identify and organize the important information in the text. In order to do so, you need to concentrate as you read. And while you're reading, you need to think critically about the text while you're reading it. So, what are the steps for notes or note taking steps? One, read the entire article all the way through before you start to take notes. Okay, let's go. Oh, I think I may have read this one before. From your cupboard to your table. Don't you just love baking? I know I do. One of my favorite things to bake is cakes. It is really easy to do and they taste so yummy. Let me tell you how. To begin the process of baking a cake, you should first find a recipe that you like. There are so many to choose from. Once you've done that, you should gather all of the ingredients listed. If you don't have everything, run to the grocery store and grab whatever you need. Before you begin mixing your ingredients, preheat the oven so it's the right temperature when your batter is ready. Now you're ready to start stirring your ingredients together. Your recipe will tell you how. When your ingredients are thoroughly mixed, pour the batter into your cake pans and place them in the oven. Now, all you have to do is wait. Your recipe will tell you how long you have to wait. In the meantime, you can enjoy the wonderful aroma coming from your kitchen. Finally, after the allotted time, you can take your cake out of the oven and let it cool. Once you've frosted it, it will be the perfect treat to share with your friends and family. Now I've read it. Next, I identify the topic that the entire article is about. Well, I would say that's baking. Okay. Next, I need to identify the subtopics. Those would be the main ideas of any paragraphs that follow. So if I look at this paragraph, the subtopic is baking a cake. Got it. Next, I need to look at the details that were included in that paragraph that talked about baking a cake. So I'm going to identify the subtopic details. There, they're underlined in orange. I've got find a recipe, gather all of the ingredients, preheat the oven, start stirring. Oh, this sounds like sequence. Oven, take your cake out. Pretty much. So next, I'm going to do my note-taking steps. Now remember, I'm doing two-column notes this time, not sequence. So I'm going to set up my note page. There, you have it. Two columns. Next, I'm going to put a line or a bar across the top where I will write what the topic is. On the left-hand side, I will list the subtopic. That's the main idea of each paragraph. We only have one, so we'll only be listing one subtopic. On the right-hand side, I'll list my subtopic detail and any elaboration the author has included. Okay, so let's get started. My topic is baking. My subtopic, baking a cake. Well, I've already mentioned the word baking in topic. Subtopic is cake because that paragraph talks about cakes and that supports baking. Okay, so now I'm going to look at my subtopic detail. I've got find a recipe. So I'm going to put recipe there. So I'm going to say, so far if I look at my notes, you're baking cakes, you need recipes. But what did the author say about recipes? Well, you have to choose one. Okay, good. Now gather all of the ingredients. So he's talking about ingredients. What do I have to do? Gather. If you don't have everything, run to the grocery store. So I'm going to put gather and grocery store. Now notice I'm not writing down everything. My notes are basically just to remind me what was on that page or in that paragraph. Next, we talk about or read about the oven. So I'm going to put oven and it says to preheat. Okay, now next, start stirring ingredients together. But I already talked about ingredients. Do I go back up and put that underneath that? That doesn't make sense to me. Let's look a little closer. Oh, do you see the word batter? You're stirring your ingredients together to make the batter. So I'm assuming that's my subtopic detail. And he said to stir the ingredients, which makes the batter, and pour into pans, which is what you do with the batter after you preheat the oven, after you gather your ingredients or run to the grocery store, after you choose a recipe so you can bake a cake, which is what this entire little article is about, baking. Wow, got it. Okay, so now I put it in the oven, but I've already talked about oven as a subtopic detail. Oh, what do I do with that? Oh, I'm just going to I'm putting the batter in the oven, so I'll put that under batter because that supports batter. Got it. But once I put the batter in the oven, I wait. I don't do any more. Now, I put that under batter, but I also could have put it, I'm thinking, as a subtopic detail. So that is something that you would consider. That would be personal preference. Basically, I'm getting the important information in here. And then, what does it say? I take my cake out. Perfect. Now, I could have actually put some more information, elaboration about taking the cake out, talking about frosting and enjoying it. But again, that's personal preference, and it's not exactly what you do when you're baking the cake. So the only thing that I seriously might change is taking the word wait, making it orange, and making it a subtopic detail. But again, that would be your personal preference. And exactly the way that you want to do your notes might not match mine. So that's okay as long as we get all of the important information down.